currently sleeping with his business partner while he cries at his mother's funeral. That sentence was typed with a laughing emoji, posted in a private group, celebrated by 8 women who thought they were untouchable. The woman who wrote it was wearing a diamond ring bought by the man she was mocking, living in a house paid for by his salary, driving a car registered in his name, planning her escape with money she assumed would be hers. But the man she called pathetic, the man she nicknamed the human ATM, had a secret worth $47 million, and he had been building a case against her for 18 months. What unfolded at her 30th birthday party would become the most talked about moment in that city for years to come. Before we dive into this incredible story of betrayal and justice, I need your help. Our dream is to reach 500 subscribers, and your support makes it possible. If you enjoy watching karma catch up with people who deserve it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It takes 2 seconds but means everything to us. Now let me tell you how this all began. Mark Thompson appeared unremarkable to most people. 38 years old, software engineer at a mid-sized tech company. He wore simple clothes, drove an older Honda, and lived in a modest suburban home. Nothing about him screamed success or wealth. His coworkers considered him reliable but boring. His neighbors thought he was nice but forgettable. Even his own wife seemed unimpressed by the life he provided. That was exactly the image he had carefully constructed. 13 years earlier, fresh out of college at 25, Mark had built a software platform that caught the attention of a major tech corporation. The acquisition happened quietly. No press coverage, no celebration tours, just a wire transfer that deposited more money into his account than most people earn in 10 lifetimes. He watched what happened next with growing horror. Friends he had, known since childhood, suddenly needed loans they never intended to repay. Distant relatives appeared with business proposals and sob stories. Women who had ignored him for years now laughed at his jokes and touched his arm during conversations. Money revealed the truth about people, and the truth was ugly. So Mark made a decision that would shape the next decade of his life. He would hide his wealth completely, live below his means, drive ordinary cars, wear ordinary clothes, and wait for someone who loved him without knowing what he was worth. He met Jessica at a bookstore during a rainy afternoon. She was 24, working as an administrative assistant, browsing the same section of novels he enjoyed. Their conversation flowed naturally. She seemed genuinely interested in his thoughts, his humor, his perspective on life. Not once did she ask about his income or career trajectory. They dated for a year before he proposed. She said yes without hesitation. They planned a small wedding in Las Vegas, intimate and spontaneous. What Jessica did not realize was that Mark had arranged for his attorney to fly in the night before. There was a document to sign, a prenuptial agreement with specific clauses buried in dense legal language. If either spouse committed infidelity or publicly disparaged the other, they would forfeit all claims to marital assets. No house, no cars, no investments, not even gifts received during the marriage. Everything would be lost. Jessica skimmed the first page and signed at the bottom. Why worry about legal details when marrying a man who clipped coupons and suggested staying home instead of dining out? She assumed there was nothing worth protecting. For 2 years, the marriage seemed genuine. They cooked dinner together, watched movies on the couch, talked about having children someday. Mark began to believe he had finally found what he was searching for. Then subtle changes began appearing. Jessica started comparing their life to others. Her college roommate's husband bought a Mercedes. Her coworker's boyfriend proposed with a 3-carat ring. Other couples vacationed in Europe while they visited state parks and local beaches. The comments grew sharper over time. I thought you would be more ambitious by now. My friends feel sorry for me when they see our car. Sometimes I wonder what my life would look like if I had chosen differently. Mark absorbed each criticism silently. He told himself it was temporary frustration, that the woman he married was still there beneath the complaints, that patience would reveal her true character. He was right about that last part, just not in the way he hoped. Sarah Thompson had never trusted her brother's wife. There was something calculated behind Jessica's smiles, something hollow in her affection. But without evidence, suspicions meant nothing. Then Sarah noticed inconsistencies on social media. Jessica posted photos from expensive restaurants Mark knew nothing about. Check-ins at upscale bars, on nights she claimed to be working late. Comments from people who never appeared at family gatherings. Sarah created a fake profile, made herself look like a young professional interested in networking with successful women, sent friend requests to Jessica's inner circle. One by one, they accepted her into their digital world. That was when she discovered the group. Trophy Wives in Training, a private Facebook community with 8 members, founded 3 years earlier, dedicated entirely to manipulating husbands for maximum financial benefit. The women shared strategies for extracting expensive gifts, techniques for faking affection convincingly, methods for hiding money in accounts their husbands could not find, templates for documenting fake abuse claims in case they needed leverage during divorce proceedings. Jessica was not just a member, she was the most active contributor. Sarah spent 18 months screenshotting every post, every comment, every cruel joke made, at her brother's expense. The file grew thick with evidence of betrayal. The post started with casual complaints. Mark was boring. Mark was predictable. Mark lacked ambition. Standard frustrations that might appear in any struggling marriage. But they escalated into something vicious. My ATM husband brought me flowers again. Does he really think that makes up for being poor? The group responded with laughing emojis and comments calling Mark Wallet Boy. He tried to plan a romantic dinner at home. I had to pretend his cooking was edible. The things I sacrificed for that bank account. More laughter, more mockery, suggestions that Jessica deserved an award for her performance. Sex with him is my workout routine. I just close my eyes and calculate how much I will take when I finally leave. The women called this honesty. They called it empowerment. They called each other queens for having the courage to exploit men who trusted them. Then came the post that made Sarah's blood run cold. Update from paradise. Currently with Ryan at his hotel while my pathetic husband stands at his mother's grave crying. He has no idea. Life is good. Ryan, Mark's business partner, his friend of 8 years, the man he trusted with half his company, sleeping with his wife while he buried his mother. The group celebrated this confession like it was an achievement. Heart emojis flooded the comments. One woman called it iconic. Another said Jessica was living the dream. Have you ever trusted someone completely only to discover they were laughing at you behind your back? What would you do if you found out the person sharing your bed was mocking you to strangers online? I genuinely want to know. Drop your answer in the comments, because what Mark did next required patience that most people simply do not possess. When Sarah finally showed him the evidence, printed screenshots filling a folder 3 inches thick, Mark sat in silence for a long time. The betrayal was comprehensive. His wife, his business partner, 3 years of lies documented in casual posts and laughing emojis. His first instinct was confrontation. Storm into the house and demand answers. Call Ryan and end their partnership with a single conversation. Let the anger consuming his chest explode outward. But emotional reactions rarely produce optimal outcomes. Mark called his attorney instead. Over the following months, a team assembled quietly. A private investigator with experience in marital infidelity cases. A forensic accountant to trace any hidden assets. A family law specialist who reviewed the prenuptial agreement and confirmed its enforceability. The infidelity clause was airtight. The disparagement clause even stronger. Every mocking post in that Facebook group qualified as a violation. Jessica had signed away her rights years ago without realizing what she was sacrificing. The private investigator documented the affair extensively. Photographs of Jessica and Ryan entering hotels together, receipts from expensive dinners charged to business accounts, text messages recovered from cloud backups expressing contempt for Mark and excitement about their future together. Ryan believed he was building a new life with Jessica. Once she divorced Mark and collected her settlement, they would disappear together. Start fresh somewhere warm with her millions. He did not know that his own marriage was about to collapse. Victoria Chen came from generational wealth. Her family had built an oil empire over 3 generations, and she had inherited a personal fortune exceeding $200 million. When she married Ryan 7 years earlier, her attorneys insisted on a prenuptial agreement with severe penalties for infidelity. Ryan had signed without concern. He never planned to cheat. The document seemed like a formality. Now it was a death sentence for his financial future. Mark contacted Victoria discreetly, shared the evidence his investigator had gathered, explained the full scope of her husband's betrayal. Victoria responded with cold efficiency. Her own team of attorneys began preparing divorce papers immediately. She agreed to coordinate timing with Mark for maximum impact. Jessica's 30th birthday provided the perfect stage. She wanted a celebration worthy of her success. A lavish party at the Four Seasons Ballroom, 200 guests including family, co-workers, and friends, premium open bar, live entertainment, flowers on every table. The budget reached $75,000. Mark approved every expense without hesitation, booked the venue personally, sent elegant invitations to everyone on Jessica's list, including all 8 members of Trophy Wives in Training, and their husbands. Mark had contacted each husband separately, shared relevant screenshots from the group, explained what their wives had been posting for years. The reactions ranged from devastation to fury, but every man agreed to attend the party. Every man agreed to wait for the right moment. Jessica spent weeks preparing for her celebration, selecting the perfect dress, scheduling salon appointments, practicing gracious expressions in the mirror. She told the Facebook group this would be her final party as a married woman, filing for divorce next month. Lawyer says I should let him pay for my birthday first. One last gift before I take everything else. The night arrived. The ballroom looked stunning. Crystal chandeliers scattered light across white tablecloths. Roses perfumed the air. 200 guests mingled with champagne glasses, admiring the extravagance of the event. Jessica's parents stood near the entrance. Her father, Harold, was a respected judge known for integrity and fairness. Her mother, Catherine, carried herself with practiced elegance. They greeted guests warmly, proud of their daughter's seemingly wonderful life. Co-workers whispered about Jessica's good fortune. Such a devoted husband, such a beautiful party, such a perfect marriage. If you knew what was about to happen, would you stop it? Would you let someone experience public humiliation as payback for private cruelty? Or would you handle justice quietly behind closed doors? Tell me in the comments. I want to know where you stand. Jessica entered the ballroom at 8 o'clock wearing a designer gown that had cost $8,000. She smiled radiantly at the crowd, waved at friends, posed for photographs like a celebrity arriving at a premiere. Mark watched from across the room, standing near the audio-visual station where technicians awaited his signal. His expression revealed nothing, no anger, no sadness, just absolute calm. The party proceeded through dinner and toasts. Jessica's friends praised her beauty and charm. A slideshow displayed carefully curated photographs, mostly images of Jessica looking glamorous with Mark conveniently cropped from the frame. Then Mark walked to the microphone. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is a special evening. More special than anyone realizes. Jessica beamed from her seat, anticipating another public declaration of affection from her devoted husband. I want to give my wife a birthday gift she will never forget, the gift of truth. The projection screens flickered. A Facebook post appeared. My ATM husband thinks I love him. He is so clueless it is adorable. Silence crashed over the room. Jessica's smile froze. This is my wife. Posting in a private group called Trophy Wives in Training, a community she helped create for the purpose of manipulating husbands and extracting money from marriages. Another post appeared. He bought me a Chanel bag thinking it would make me happy. It did for about 5 minutes. Then I remembered I am stuck with him. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Sex with him is my cardio. I just lay there and think about his bank account. Jessica's mother covered her mouth. Her father's expression hardened into stone. He brings me flowers every Friday like we are newlyweds. So pathetic. Mark let each word land before continuing. And my personal favorite. Currently with Ryan at his hotel while my pathetic husband stands at his mother's grave crying. The room erupted. Guests rose from seats. Phones appeared. Recording began. Members of the Facebook group went pale as their husbands turned to stare at them with dawning comprehension. Security footage appeared next. The bedroom of their home. Jessica and Ryan clearly visible. Timestamp showing the exact date of the funeral. Stop this, Jessica screamed. This is private. You cannot do this. Private? You posted these thoughts. Publicly. Shared them with 8 other people. Sent intimate photographs to Ryan with captions mocking me. Nothing about this was ever private. Text messages filled the screen. Jessica to Ryan. Cannot wait to spend his money with you. And just 2 more years and I am free. And he has no idea. Complete idiot. Judge Harold stood slowly. Looked at his daughter with undisguised disgust. Turned and walked out of the ballroom without speaking. Her mother followed, tears streaming down her face. Dad, Mom, let me explain. But there was nothing to explain. Every word was documented, every betrayal preserved in screenshots and video. Now, Jessica, I know you are thinking about the divorce settlement, the millions you plan to take, your carefully designed exit strategy. Mark smiled coldly. Let me refresh your memory about the document you signed in Vegas. Our prenuptial agreement, the one you did not bother reading. The prenup appeared on screen, one section highlighted. In the event of proven infidelity or public disparagement, the offending spouse forfeits all claims to marital assets, property, vehicles, investments, gifts received during marriage, everything. Color drained from Jessica's face. Every post in that group qualifies as public disparagement. The affair with Ryan is proven infidelity. According to the contract, you signed willingly, you received nothing. You cannot do this. I'm entitled to half. We are married. The only thing you are entitled to is the ride home. The ballroom doors opened. A woman entered wearing a simple black dress, elegant, composed, radiating quiet authority. Behind her walked a man carrying a briefcase. Ryan's face went gray. This is Victoria Chen, Ryan's wife. Her family owns Chen Energy. Personal net worth exceeding $200 million. Victoria walked directly toward Ryan. Hello, darling. I believe you have met my divorce attorney. Ryan opened his mouth. No sound emerged. You signed a prenup too. Infidelity clause, same as hers. You get nothing. The attorney handed Ryan an envelope. You have been served. Jessica grabbed Ryan's arm. Do something. Fix this. But Ryan stood frozen, watching his entire future collapse in real time. You deserve each other, Victoria said. Enjoy starting over with nothing. She walked out without looking back. Chaos consumed the ballroom. Phones recorded everything. Husbands confronted wives who had posted in the group. The carefully constructed web of lies disintegrated in minutes. Jessica collapsed to her knees. Mark, please. I am sorry. I did not mean any of it. Just venting with friends. I love you. Mark looked down at her, the woman he had trusted completely, the woman who had mocked him while sleeping with his business partner during the darkest moment of his life. You said I was pathetic for bringing flowers. You bragged about being with Ryan while I buried my mother. You called our intimacy your cardio routine. I was joking. It was just... You were joking about your exit strategy? About fake abuse claims? About taking half my assets? Silence. I heard every word, every laugh, every cruel joke. You showed me exactly who you are. I believe. You now. He turned to leave. Wait. Jessica grabbed his leg. Where am I supposed to go? Your belongings are in boxes in the parking lot. The locks changed 2 hours ago. Your credit cards were canceled this morning. The car you drive, which I own, was repossessed this afternoon. You are leaving me with nothing? Mark paused. You had everything. A husband who loved you genuinely, who would have given you anything, who hid his fortune specifically to find someone who valued him as a person. He looked at her one final time. My actual net worth is $47 million. I sold my first company at 25. You had access to more money than you could spend in 5 lifetimes, and you treated me like a joke. Her jaw dropped. 47? What? You thought I was worth 10 million. You were wrong. About everything. Jessica's face cycled through shock, horror, and finally crushing realization of what she had destroyed. No. Mark walked out. Security escorted Jessica through a service exit 20 minutes later. Still crying, still screaming, still unable to comprehend how completely her plans had collapsed. The aftermath was devastating. 5 additional divorces were filed within 30 days. Every husband from the Trophy Wives group had received complete archives. The evidence destroyed any chance of favorable settlements for the women involved. Jessica moved in with her parents. Her father refused to speak with her. Her mother could barely look at her without crying. The community that had respected their family now whispered about the scandal in every social setting. Ryan lost his partnership in Mark's company. $3 million in annual income gone overnight. Victoria's divorce finalized within 90 days. He walked away with nothing but the clothes he owned. Last anyone heard, he was selling software for a small firm in another state, living in a cramped apartment he could barely afford. Jessica searched for employment. Desperately. But search engines never forget. Every potential employer found the articles, the viral videos, the comments calling her every name imaginable. Her reputation followed her like a shadow. 1 year later, Mark had never been happier. His company expanded into new markets. His foundation, named after his mother, helped families dealing with grief and loss. His net worth grew past $60 million. He started dating again. A social worker he met at a charity event. She drove an old car with dented fenders, wore clothes from discount stores, had no idea what Mark was worth. She brought him flowers every Friday because she noticed small gestures made him smile. Jessica saw Mark once more, across a grocery store parking lot on a gray afternoon. He was laughing at something on his phone, loading bags into a nice car, looking healthy and content. She stood beside her mother's old sedan, wearing clothes from her college years, hair unwashed, face tired. He drove away without acknowledging her existence, leaving her alone with consequences she had earned. This story reveals something important about human nature. Jessica had everything: genuine love from a patient man, access to wealth beyond her comprehension, a future that could have been beautiful beyond imagination. But greed blinded her. Vanity consumed her. The desperate need to feel superior destroyed everything she claimed to want. She measured Mark by what she thought he possessed, never looked deeper, never considered that the quiet man bringing flowers might be more than appearances suggested, never imagined her cruelty was being documented for the day accountability would arrive. The quietest person in the room often holds the most power. Those who measure others by money cannot recognize genuine worth. Karma keeps excellent records. Mark could have handled this privately, served papers and walked away. But after years of mockery and betrayal, he chose to give her exactly what she had given him: public exposure before everyone who mattered. Was it excessive? Some might argue yes. Was it justified? After those posts, that security footage, that confession about laughing with her lover while he mourned his mother, some lessons require harsh teaching methods. Jessica wanted millions. She wanted half of everything. She wanted to escape with money while the man she deceived picked up broken pieces. Instead, she left with nothing. Just memories of her own words displayed on screens before 200 witnesses, preserved forever online for anyone curious enough to search. The most expensive lesson anyone learns is discovering that character matters more than currency. Jessica paid the highest possible price. If this story satisfied your hunger for justice, please help us continue creating this content. Our goal is 500 subscribers, and every single subscription matters. Hit that button now and turn on notifications. Your support makes these videos possible. If Jessica got what she deserved, leave a thumbs up. Drop a comment sharing your thoughts. What would you have done? Was public exposure fair, or would you have handled things quietly? Could you have waited 18 months while watching someone mock you? I read every comment and value your perspectives. Share this video with someone who needs hope that patience and integrity eventually win. Someone facing their own betrayal who needs to know justice arrives eventually. Thank you for watching this story of a woman who married a wallet and threw away a fortune. Character always outlasts cash. Integrity defeats arrogance. Truth always finds its way into light. I will see you next time with another tale of betrayal, revenge, and karma, catching up with those who deserve it most. Until then, stay strong, stay true. Never let anyone make you feel less than you are.